Now we're going to talk about how. This all sounds very great, but how do I do it? What does it mean for me? Tomorrow morning, what do I do? Yeah. So again, remember values, principles, practices, and we're going to use them everywhere. We're going to use them for marketing, for sales, for software development, for everything, HR, finance, the whole lot. Is that possible? Can you do that? Do you think it will work everywhere? Yes. How? We'll see. So, will it work in every process? So here are your key processes. Opportunity to order, order to cash, cash to close. Should work everywhere. Here you've got your development ones and your support. We're going to use Agile right throughout in every business process. Yeah. Now, if you look at the levels of where we're going to use it, we start at the top with strategy. And that's not only group strategy. It's group strategy, business unit strategy, department strategy, team level strategy, right down to the unit strategy. You will use it. Then we use it to govern. Then we use it. There's two types of work you'll do normally. You're either doing project work, which has a definite start and a definite end, or you're doing operations work, which is just continuous, a single process being repeated. Is that right? Yeah. So we have developed 3 patterns: the strategy and governance pattern, the program execution pattern, and the operations pattern. And each pattern has a set of practices that you will use. Yeah? And when you use that set of practices, you can execute the pattern. And this is the beauty of it. This pattern, no matter which pattern you're using, they follow the same steps. You mobilize the team, you understand the problems and the challenges and the desired outcomes, you explore the changes and the designs and strategies you need, you test it very fast, you see the loop there, you test it, and then if it's successful, you implement it. If it's not successful, you go back to explore. It's iterative. Yeah? And no matter which pattern you're using, it's the same process underneath. Yeah? It's just you're using different sort of practices in each pattern. Yeah? So I'm going to dive into each one. And what's very important is for each of these patterns to be successful, the governance model, the funnel, is what is key, because the success of the projects is what gives the feedback. Is this the right strategy? So it's very easy to decide up there, oh, we're going to the cloud. Okay, we're going to the cloud. So, okay, then it comes down one level and they decide how we're going to the cloud. Then they go one more level down and say, what are our products and services? You go all the way down, but then something's not working. And immediately the feedback has to go up the line. So you can learn and adapt your strategy. The days of 1-year business planning cycles are gone. Nobody does that anymore. The world is changing so fast. Your planning cycles have to also become small. The way you look at your strategy is just the way you do the projects. Iteration, 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 iteration. You do that here and you do that here. Yeah? So I'm going to look at the strategy pattern first. So I'm giving you all an overview of all the patterns. So no matter where you are, you learn it. And the actual execution of the pattern will be in the detailed training. The strategy pattern will be in the Agile for Managers training course. And then you'll learn exactly how to execute each of these things. So you start off with this. You mobilize the team. Who's the team? So you want representatives from the team below as well. Where are we now? Where do we want to be? That's understand. How do we get there? You're exploring and strategizing. And then what do we do? The planning and the execution is part of strategy execution. This is the funnel management bit. So you do your strategy, you build your strategic initiatives, and you manage the funnel. That's how it should be, all the way down. So you know, everyone in the company knows at the right level, what are the top 3 things I'm doing in the next quarter? At your level, you need to know it. And all should know the same things. It's not 5 things, it's not 15 things, it's not 20 things. What are the top 3 focuses? And so on and so forth. So, Here's a list of patterns. So how do you do that? Where are we now? You use the business model canvas. So this is a pattern that you can open and you can follow. Then, oops, sorry, I'll show you that later. So there's the market factors, current problems, root cause analysis, and SWOT. And you do all this with the sticky notes using all the Agile techniques. Yeah, you collaborate, you're in a room. Nobody's writing a report and sending it to somebody else to review. You're doing it together. Then, where do we want to be? Vision, mission, objectives, BHAGs, SMART goals. So this is a lot using design thinking practices as well. Anyone know what's a BHAG? Yes, it's a big, hairy, audacious goal. So it's a big goal, like we want to be the number one in blah. You think, oh my God, that's impossible because we're number 15. Yeah, but it's a hairy goal. It's a big one. You want to put it out there. You want to stretch yourself. Yeah, and then you can do it. So, how do we get there? So here you use design workshops, you use design thinking practices, blockers, foundational beliefs, strategic options, and they're all yellow boards, sticky notes. You use the walls and you come up with it. Planning, and then this is the strategic pipeline, where you manage the pipeline. And this is done by the leaders and their teams every so often. So, now this is the most important slide in understanding strategy. If there's one slide you have to remember, it's this one. Yeah. So the strategy at the high level becomes the goals for the lower level. Then they develop a strategy. The strategy for that level becomes the goals for the lower level. The strategy for that level becomes the goals for the lower level. So let's talk through it. Yeah. So let us say at this level, we decide we've got to increase our revenue. Objective is growth. So how are we going to grow? The strategy is we're going to target the cloud. Yeah, because that's, you looked at the market, the cloud is the big area, let's go for the cloud. Now, the team below, the business unit cloud, has to take the strategy cloud and set themselves some goals for the cloud. This year, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to have a COBOL cloud by the year 2016. Oh, okay, that sounds good. How do I do that? Well, we're going to do the COBOL cloud by setting up a cloud in 3 continents. Yeah, in 3 of our data centers, and it's going to be a virtual cloud, blah, blah, blah. Good. Now, the HR unit, the finance unit, the IT unit have to take that strategy and find out what are the goals. So if I need 3 data centers, yeah, running a COBOL cloud by 2015, IT team, what do you need to do? What are your goals? Ooh, so they write their goals. HR team, what do you need to do? I need cloud resources who know the cloud in these 3 locations. Real estate. Finance team, what do you have to do? Yeah, etc. So you need the strategy from above to become your goals. Then you say, how will you execute that strategy? So you put it on the canvas. You put it on the canvas. Then you take that strategy and the actual team doing the work sets their goals and they make their strategy. So strategy is done at every single level. And that's vital to understand. Yeah. So when you're doing your work here, you know how it connects to the goal of IBM because you can see the path. Yeah. So that's this strategy pattern.